Today, we will talk about how powerful is Australian military. Australia, officially the Commonwealth of Australia, is a sovereign island country surrounded by the Indian and Pacific Oceans. The country is separated from Asia by the Arafura and Timor Seas, with the Coral Sea lying off the Queensland coast. The Tasman Sea lies between Australia and New Zealand. With an area of 7,617,930 square kilometers, Australia is the largest country by area in Oceania, and the world's sixth largest country. With $1.748 trillion of nominal GDP, Australia has 25,000 kilometers of coastline, and claims approximately 8,150,000 square kilometers of exclusive economic zone. The country is protected by the Australian Defence Force. Australian Defence Force consists of the Australian Army, Royal Australian Navy, Royal Australian Air Force, and several tri-service units. The defense budget is around $44 billion. The United States is the major weapon supplier. The ADF has a strength of just over 79,000 military personnel, which is 0.3% of the total population. 59,000 active personnel, and is capable of mobilizing over 20,000 reservists in the event of full-scale war. F-88 Austere is the standard-issue rifle in the Australian military, which replaced the SLR and the M16 in the late 1980s. The ADF is technologically sophisticated, but relatively small. Although the military personnel makes it the largest military in Oceania, but it is smaller than most Asian military forces. Australian Defence Force is responsible for the defence of the Commonwealth of Australia and its national interests. Over the years, the Australian military has fought in a number of major wars, including the Second Boer War, the First and Second World Wars, Korean War, Malayan Emergency, Indonesia-Malaysia confrontation, Vietnam War, and more recently in Afghanistan and Iraq. Only during the Second World War, Australian territory had come under direct attack. Since 1947, the Australian Army has also been involved in many peacekeeping operations. In addition, the Australian military also participates in multilateral and unilateral military exercises, and provides emergency disaster relief and humanitarian aid in response to domestic and international crises. According to the 2022 Global Firepower Index, Australia is ranked 17 out of 142 countries, considered for the annual GFP review. According to the World Directory of Modern Military Aircraft, the Royal Australian Air Force is ranked 51 out of the 100 air services from 74 countries. The Australian Army is the land service branch of the Australian Defence Force. It is the largest of the three services. Army has 29,000 active personnel and 15,000 reserve personnel. Currently, it operates 59 M1A1 Abrams main battle tanks. In January 2022, the Australian Army ordered 75 M1A2 Abrams to replace their 59 M1A1 Abrams, which were bought in 2007. Delivery will start in 2024. Over 1,800 armoured vehicles, including Australian Light Armoured Vehicle, Boxer, and M113 armoured personnel carriers. And only 48 155mm towed howitzer. A total of 20 M142 HIMARS rocket artillery have been ordered. It also operates various types of engineering vehicles and unmanned aerial vehicles, including Black Hornet Nano and RQ-7B Shadow 200. Australian Army is also equipped with advanced infantry weapons, such as M4 Carbine, F-88 Austere, HK-416, SR-98, HK-417, Barrett M82, FNMAG-58, Browning, Carl Gustav, Javelin, RBS-70 Manpad, and so on. Aviation Corps operates a fleet of 90 helicopters, including 14 Boeing CH-47 Chinook, 41 NH-90, and Eurocopter Tiger. The Royal Australian Navy, RAN, is the naval service branch of the Australian Defence Force. Formed in 1901 as the Commonwealth Naval Forces, through the combination of the Australian colonial navies, following the Federation of Australia. Although it was originally intended for local defense, it became increasingly responsible for the defense of the region. The RAN consists of 43 commissioned vessels, 4 non-commissioned vessels, and over 19,000 personnel. The Navy is one of the largest and most sophisticated naval forces in the South Pacific region, with a significant presence in the Indian Ocean, and worldwide operations in support of military campaigns and peacekeeping missions. As of 2022, Royal Australian Navy operates 2 helicopter carriers, 3 destroyers, 8 frigates, 6 submarines, 12 patrol vessels, and 4 minehunters. In addition, 6 MH-60 are helicopters for anti-submarine warfare, and 6 MRH-90 for transport and resupply. The Royal Australian Air Force, RAAF, is the aerial service branch of the Australian Defence Force. Formed in March 1921, as the Australian Air Force, through the separation of the Australian Air Corps from the Army in January 1920, combining the Army and Navy's separate aerial services. With 430 aircraft, 14,000 active personnel, and 5,000 reserve personnel, the RAAF provides support across a spectrum of operations, such as air superiority, precision strikes, intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance, air mobility, space surveillance, and humanitarian support. Combat aircraft includes 54 F-35 Lightning II, and 35 FA-18 Super Hornets, including 11 EA-18G Growler. Special mission aircraft include 12 P-8 Poseidon Maritime Patrol aircraft, and 6 E-7 Wedgetail Airborne Early Warning and Control aircraft. RAF operates a fleet of 38 transport aircraft, including 8 C-17 Globemaster, 12 C-130J Super Hercules, and 2 Boeing 737. In addition, RAAF also has a fleet of 7 Airbus A330 multi-role tanker transport. To increase surveillance in the sea, Australia also ordered 6 MQ-4 Sea Triton and 6 MQ-28 Ghostbat. Australian Defence Force has 3 Special Force units. Special Forces Group, No. 4 Squadron, and Clearance Diving Branch. All units associated to conduct and/or support special operations to advance and protect the national security of the Commonwealth of Australia. Australian Special Forces have most recently been deployed to Iraq in Operation Okra. Special Forces Group, SFG, is a special operations unit of the Australian Army. Recently deployed in Afghanistan to support the Australian Secret Intelligence Service. They also deployed regularly for counter-terrorism operations. No. 4 Squadron is an elite special operations unit of the Royal Australian Air Force. Clearance Diving Branch is the specialist diving unit of the Royal Australian Navy, whose versatile role covers all spheres of military diving, and includes explosive ordnance disposal and maritime counter-terrorism. That's it for today. See you in the next video.